friends. Hello, hi, how are you? I hope you guys are having an amazing day today. Hello. Hello, hi, oh my god. Sup. Today we're gonna be having kind of I think an interesting conversation, and I hope you guys also find it interesting. It's something that I thought of the other day. I kind of got into this weird genre of videos about like luxury items, and I don't mean just like, you know, like Michael Kors, like stuff you can find at Marshall's on like a deal. I don't mean that. I more mean like Gucci, Chanel, Givenchy, what are some other ones? Louis Vuitton, like all of those things. I started like watching luxury hauls of people buying like Hermes Birkins and like crazy Louis Vuitton pieces. And I noticed while I was watching them that subconsciously I was like, man, maybe one day I can work so hard and I can start buying things like this. Like I can start buying luxury purses and luxury shoes, and like maybe that's something that I could do. I've always been somewhat of a bougie person. Let me just preface this. Like I've always been a little bit more bougie. I don't mind spending a little bit of extra money for things. But then I stumbled across a video that really changed my mindset on this, and it was actually a bunch of videos that had the same topic, and it was things that I regret buying. They were luxury items and people were talking about how they regretted buying these things. And there were things like, you know, Gucci sneakers and like Louis Vuitton bags and like Cartier like rings and bracelets and things that people talked about. They so wish that if they could go back in time, they would tell their younger self to not buy these things because they didn't make them as happy and as fulfilled as they thought they would, or they didn't get use out of them, or like whatever. And it kind of got me thinking about this interesting dynamic, right? Because in some ways, I think if you are a person who heavily watches YouTube, or you're on Instagram, or just a social media type of person, like you really like digesting social media type content, I think if you're like that, you might see the influx in flexing and people talking about how much they like. Supreme is huge. You know, Champion hoodies, which used to be like $4 at Walmart, are now sold for like $50. Like being hyped up for like owning really luxury cool shoes or really awesome purses. Like it's kind of become a big part of online culture, is flexing or owning really, really nice things that you can then sort of, I mean, flex on them, like flex that you own these super nice things online. And I think anyone who posts on social media, for the most part, most people participate in this. Like even me, when I got my car, I was like instantly like, oh my god, I have to post a picture of this on Instagram because I have to show people. And I don't think a lot of people necessarily mean it to be like mean. Like I don't think people mean it to be like, oh, look at me being better than you. But there definitely are people like that. But I think the average person is probably just like wanting to show off a little bit and wanting to be like, hey, look ma, I made it. You know what I mean? But I think there's this weird culture forming around normalizing spending insane amounts of money on things. And I think it goes beyond makeup, because I've heard this topic talked about with makeup, and I completely agree. Because beauty influencers have completely normalized the idea of spending $129 on an eyeshadow palette. That idea is normalized. We've accepted it. Those Pat McGrath palettes and Natasha Denona palettes sell out. They do incredibly well. They sell tons of them. Everybody does reviews on them. Everybody loves them. Like we have normalized a $35 blush. You know what I mean? We've normalized a $50 bronzer. Like we've normalized all of that. But I think if you go even further, if you take it even a step further, to not just normalizing makeup, but I think we're normalizing the extreme spending on like luxury items like purses and sneakers. And even if you can't afford those things, like even if you can't, because I can't afford a Louis Vuitton bag. I saw somebody had a Louis Vuitton bag in a picture and I was like, oh, like that's really pretty. And I was like, maybe if I like hit a really big milestone, I'll like treat myself and I'll get it, right? Because I'm crazy. And I was like, maybe I'll treat myself. And it's been normalized to me that like this is something that I should own because all these other people own it. So I looked it up and it was $1,200. What? 1,200? Do you know what you could buy with 12? I was shook. I was so shook. I didn't realize that this stuff costs so much. And now the past few days, I've fallen down a hole of finding how much luxury goods actually cost. And I'm here to tell you today to stop it.
Stop it. Get some help.
I'm here today because I've just fallen down this hole of seeing how grotesquely expensive all of this stuff is. And I'm seeing people like Emma Chamberlain and the Dolan twins who have literally fan bases of like 13-year-olds going to Louis Vuitton shows and being like sponsored by Louis Vuitton and like Calvin Klein. Who in their audience is buying Louis Vuitton? Like, honestly, did Kylie Jenner suddenly adopt all of the 13-year-olds in the world and they're all gonna be getting free Birkin bags? Like, these kids can't afford this stuff. And honestly, it's crazy because Emma Chamberlain like does these videos with Louis Vuitton and because she's showing off all of these like luxury, it normalizes it because she is that type of girl that's the like relatable teen, right? She's like a relatable little like visco girl. She's like kind of the embodiment of being a relatable teen. And so this relatable teen is buying and getting purses sent to her that are thousands of dollars. And in a way it normalizes it. Hype culture has been very normalized. It's not weird to spend like hundreds of dollars on a pair of shoes now. I had a kid in my class the other day that was talking about this because I was like, oh, my cap for shoes is probably like $60 to $75, which is still crazy, but I have a slight sneaker addiction lately. And he was like, oh, my most expensive pair is like $900. I bought the Balenciagas with like the socks. And I was like, like, I can't believe we've normalized it. So here's what I did. I'm sorry, I'm rambling, but like, here's what I did. I decided after looking at all these bags, right? And of course, some of these websites have like Afterpay and like Sezzle and like all of these like don't pay anything up front and like pay it on a payment plan, which don't a payment plan for like a luxury purse, please. Please. That's so stupid. What a stupid thing to do payment plans for. Like, please don't do that, first of all. Second of all, I'm not saying if you have the money and you can comfortably afford these things that you should feel bad. I'm talking to the people like me who can't comfortably afford these types of things and wants to not have FOMO about it, because I'll fully admit that I do have FOMO. I see girls with their Louis Vuitton Neverfulls and I'm like watching them like a hawk, wondering how they were able to get that bag because I think it's beautiful, right? So I thought. So I did a little experiment. So as I was going down this sort of like rabbit hole of luxury goods, right? And like obsessing over looking at them and seeing the prices and just being like, oh my God, trying to figure out if there's anything I could ever afford. There's not. There's nothing I'm ever gonna be willing to pay to like get something like that. But I'm like going through like looking to see, and I found videos about fake items, counterfeit items. I know people feel a certain type of way about more like counterfeit and like fake items from designers. Here's my opinion. If you're gonna charge $3,000 for a bag, it's gonna get duped. It is. And honestly, I don't think it's a bad thing to get duped because realistically, the cost to make the bag was probably pretty similar. Your markup is just stupid high. So I don't have a problem with people ripping off luxury designers. They make enough money. They don't need me like defending them. About like what they're doing, okay? Like they don't. So what I decided to do was I saw these videos from like, you can buy luxury, like fake luxury stuff on Amazon. And I was like, well, maybe this is my ticket. Like I bet all those Louis Vuitton bags I saw were fake. So then I went on Amazon and I was looking and I purchased a fake Louis Vuitton Neverfull for the high price of $23. And I also bought a pair of sunglasses that are normally $1,300 for $16. And I bought these two items and they came in, and I liked the sunglasses, but they're just basic sunglasses, and so were the $1,600 ones, so that's not really the point. But let's talk about the bag. So I bought this fake Louis Vuitton bag, and I bought it because I was like, maybe like I can fool people. I didn't think I was gonna fool anyone, but initially I bought it because I wanted to do a video about like wearing a fake Louis Vuitton bag for a week and seeing if anybody like said anything to me or like how I felt with it, whatever. And I ended up not doing that because it's a stupid video idea. But I was like wearing this bag, right? And I'm looking at it and it looks identical to the other purse. Like I looked up the other purse online. It looks creepily similar. Like they look very similar. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, you're not even that cute. And I started looking at other bags on Amazon that like were Louis Vuitton or Gucci that I'd been lusting after a minute ago. And I'm looking at the actual pure design of the bag without the label attached to it, without the Gucci, knowing that it's a fake, knowing that it's not authentic. And I'm looking at the actual design of the bag and I'm like, I don't even really like this. And I'm carrying this other bag and I'm like, I don't even really like how you look. You don't have the Louis Vuitton thing on you, so I don't like how you look, but they're the same bag. One's just missing a label. And it got me thinking even more deeply about how much value we put into designer things, how much value we put into wealth, right? And it was something I really had to come to terms with, that I am a person who puts value in things that are like other people put value in. Like for whatever reason, like I care and put value in those things just because somebody told me to, just because somebody told me it's like luxury, even though the quality is realistically not very different. And it's just kind of funny to me because I think I spent a lot of my like younger, I'm about to be 25, I'm about to turn 25. Can't wait for all the comments that are like, I thought you were 40. I'm about to turn 25 next year in February. Now that I'm like growing up a little bit and I'm getting out of my early 20s and I'm progressing into the mid 20s, I'm starting to see more and more how things that I once put value into aren't as valuable as I thought they were. Like things that I thought I needed, material possessions I thought I needed, I don't necessarily find them as valuable as I once did. And I still do, obviously, to a certain extent, because I'm a little bit bougie. Like I find, you know, whatever. But I'm realizing now that I have like a home and a car and, you know, I have a boyfriend who I want to take on vacations and I want to be able to like go on trips with him and see the world with him. And, you know, I'm noticing that I'm placing more value in those things. And it honestly gives me like a little bit of regret in my life and how I've been spending my life and what I've been putting value in. Because before I wasn't putting value in any of those things. I was putting it in purses and shoes. I'm looking at my shoe like rack thing right here. It's like Converse and like Nike and like those aren't super expensive, but like that alone could have bought something, like probably could have paid for me to go on a cruise to Bermuda. You know what I mean? And I'm not making this video to be like, oh my God, I'm so above designer items. I'm never gonna buy any ever again. Cause I probably will. I'll probably keep buying things that I think are cool and that I like. But I think my whole point of this video is to try and just say, when you're getting caught up in this FOMO, fear of missing out, that's what FOMO means, fear of missing out culture, and you're getting kind of caught up in the wanting material possessions just for because you want it, because everybody else has it, right? Like maybe think about if you even like what you're looking at first. If you can find the same exact looking thing and you just don't really like it if it doesn't have the name on it, chances are it's not going to be a fulfilling purchase to you in the long run anyway, you know? So maybe, I guess, I don't know, I feel like maybe this video was kind of pointless, but I wanted to share my experience about like this type of stuff because it's something it's been like a learning experience going through and seeing, you know, how my change in perspective has happened and how now I look at people with like $3,000 bags and I'm like, what are you doing? What is going on? Like, and again, I think it's fine to like save up and like splurge. There's this bag that I really, really want that's like a little bit more pricey. And I think it's fine to save up money and make a conscious decision after like really, really thinking about it. But just don't feel like you have to have a Dior saddle bag because all the Instagrammers have it. Or like those Balenciaga sock shoes just because everyone else has it. Like this shouldn't be normalized. Spending gross amounts of money on material possessions shouldn't be normalized. We shouldn't be normalizing it. We should still think it's crazy. We should still think spending what could be the down payment of a car on a purse should be a thought out decision. You know what I mean? It shouldn't just be like, treated myself. I guess that's my video for today. I'm really interested to hear your guys' thoughts on the influx of like designer items into like the social media world and how it might be affecting people that are younger or even older or anybody, honestly. I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say. So I think that's it for me. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, or just like, or just subscribe, or do neither. Honestly, just so happy you're watching me. Thank you so much for being here. My merch, my social media, and everything I am wearing on my face will be linked down below, along with a link to register to vote. That's right, you can go click on that link and register to vote, and you can have a voice in your next local, state, or federal elections. And if you're not from this country and that link does not apply to you, please make sure that you're just staying informed on what's going on in your part of the world. I know Canada just had their election. There was a very high turnout rate. You're welcome, Canada. No, I'm literally kidding. But I'm glad that people were getting out there and voting, and I think it's really important. So I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!